Welcome to the Work Hard, Play Hard podcast. My name is Rob Murgatroyd, and I am a former doctor turned lifestyle entrepreneur. Each week, I interview some of the best minds on the planet on the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment. Today's episode is a mini-sode that we call Fri-Date with the Wife. In these mini-sodes, my wife Kim and I deconstruct the strategies that we've developed over the last decade to not only grow personally, but to turn our struggles into lessons and create fulfillment in all areas of our lives. Excuses are over. It's time to live. Let's dig into today's topic. All right, before we jump into this episode, I want to invite you to be considered for my Work Hard, Play Hard Mastermind by completing an application at workhardplayhardmastermind.com. So this mastermind is not like any mastermind you may have been to or heard of, I promise you. This mastermind is for 6 to 7 figure entrepreneurs that are working too damn much and aren't taking the time to have amazing experiences around the world with an incredible tribe of people. So every 100 days or so, I drop you into new experiences that are specifically designed to elevate your thinking, to give you new ideas. Look, you get your best ideas not staring at a computer. And actually, this is the way high-level people really collaborate with each other. They do it over a glass of champagne, watching the sunset in the south of France. So if you are ready to do some fun stuff around the world and really, really want to level up your tribe in one shot, fill out an application at workhardplayhardmastermind.com. We'll jump on a call and we'll see if it's a good fit. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Kimberly, sun-kissed, Murgatroyd, good vibrations, Murgatroyd.
Is that a Beach Boys song?
Doom, doom, doom. I'm giving you good
Wait a minute, don't do it because the last time we played music, it got dinged.
Oh, they tagged it on YouTube, didn't they?
They
So
did.
today we are going to talk about good vibrations. And why are we talking about good vibrations? Because there's been a lot of fucking crazy vibrations in the world. And I think we need some good vibrations right now. What about you?
I think so. And we're kind of expanding on what we talked about last week, where we stuck our toe into Abraham Hicks' world. And we've received tons of feedback on last week's episode.
Say that 3 times fast.
You know, the problem is I have cilantro in my mouth.
Do it again.
Last week's episode. Last week's episode.
Not bad. You did it.
No, I had cilantro in my mouth and it was like, I don't know what was happening.
That's what she said. Go ahead.
Oh my God. So we got tons of reach out and we wanted to expand on it because, you know, even though I'm listening to the same, how long is that? Let me look. Okay, so the audio I've been listening to for like ever, for like the last month or two, is literally 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. But every single day, I hear something new in that audio.
Yeah, she talks very deeply and very, very quickly. There's got to be some way we can link that audio up. I think it's called The Best of, the editors who listen to this will link it up. I think it's called The Best of Abraham, and you could probably find the link on YouTube. It's a really, really, really good one. So, okay. So you just asked me something. I came in the door a second ago and I was like, we've got a lot of really good feedback on last week's podcast, and I can always tell when the podcast goes well because the feedback is not just great job, love the episode. It is voice messaging, passionate, like people going. Now with voice text, people can get easy access to you even on Instagram. They can just send you a voice message,
which we love,
which is great. So keep doing it. We love to hear. It's just you can really sense somebody's feelings and their vibrations when they send a voice message. But we had so many messages from people where it really resonated with them for whatever the reason was. So we wanted to just do a little bit of a follow up on it.
Can I share the 2 things I learned this week?
Yeah,
maybe that's a good place to start. So it's no secret, we've talked about a million times, where we were in Atlanta and it took us a long ass time to manifest this California life. And today, when I was food prepping and listening to the same recording I listen to 3 times a day, I heard something new. And I actually even screenshotted like the minute marker because I wanted to make sure I could get back there and share it with Rob because I thought it was really profound. So a lot of times when you're trying to manifest or you're throwing a vision board up on the wall or whatever it is that you're trying to create in your life, often, and in our case, this was the case, you're coming from such a place of lack that you're like, I hate this, I want that. And so you think by hating where you're at, and I'll use the example for us. We were living in Atlanta. We were over it. Rob had been wanting to get out and get to California for 400 years. And he would walk around and he was like, I hate this. I hate that. I hate this. I hate Atlanta. I hate this. And it was just all this like hate. And then it was like dreaming of California. Well, what you're doing there is you're not coming from a place of gratitude. So you're coming from a very negative vibration. You're not coming from a place of gratitude. So we mentioned this before, and maybe we can link this in the show notes too, is the emotional, what is it called? The emotional scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the emotional scale. And, we mentioned this last week, but it's worth repeating because if you haven't looked at it, remind me to tell them a funny story in a second, by the way.
Okay.
The emotional scale on the negative side, right, is insecurity, guilt, fear, depression, jealousy. So Rob would go into jealousy of people living on the West Coast, hatred, rage. I hate where I am. I hate this, and all anger, or even boredom. I'm bored. It's never going to happen. Pessimism. All of those negative emotions were not helping his cause or his vision board come to life because he wasn't vibing in the place where that law of attraction is actually going to take place. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think there's a few things that really hit me around that. The first one is there's a point where change happens for people, and that change happens when they've had enough. They leave their spouse, they leave their job, they put down the cupcakes. There is a defining moment where they say, not another day, not another minute, not another second. Like Tony Robbins 101, they hit threshold, they get leverage on themselves, and they facilitate a change. So somewhere in my thinking, my belief was that if I rode that frustration of where I was living, that it would be the spark, the impetus that would move me into the next place. And I think in theory, it sounds like a great idea. But in actuality, what it does is it creates, on the emotional scale that you just described, and for those that don't know what the emotional scale is, Kim was reading off different flavors of emotion that you go through, right? So anger has one intensity, jealousy has another, fear has another, and they ride up and down this scale. And so you want to be, the top, let's say, is joy, right? Or if it's not the top, it's pretty,
it's number one.
All right. So the top would be joy. So the idea is for you to find, as you're trying to get to joy, if you're not in joy, you're not going to go from fear to joy. It's very difficult to do that. So the idea is to go and reach for the next emotion that you can find where it's not that much of a leap, and you keep finding your way up the scale.
And so in regards to what we're talking about, though, like, had you sat in a place of contentment even, like we had a nice life in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. It didn't suck. Like we had a nice life in Atlanta. Hopefulness, optimism, positive expectation and belief. The higher you get up that scale towards joy and appreciation also gratitude. Mm-hmm. If you can be in a place, whatever shit place you are in some area of your life, whether it's your body, your relationship, whatever, like if you're sitting in your body now, and, I work with a lot of people that are in this, and I've been in it myself many times, where I'm like pissed about the muffin top or the cellulite under my ass or some version of that. And I'm mad about it and I'm angry about it. Instead of looking and finding the good and being grateful for your body and being grateful for, the fact that I delivered a baby, and instead of putting all of the negative emotion on my body, try to put the positive emotion, right? So now I have to train myself to put the positive emotion. So find a way to get to that gratitude place and live in that place and go after the goal. And so what she says is, from my vantage point, I love where I am, and I am so grateful and appreciative. So whether it's in your business, your body, whatever it is, I love where I am, and I am so grateful to have this around me. And I'm really excited about the next chapter too, and to see what's coming.
The word for me that changed all of this is that joiner, the word ends. That one is really, really important for me, because what it does is, in my mind, how I see it is here, living in Atlanta, so grateful, have great friends, great restaurants, weather's not that bad, live in a great environment. We live in a beautiful, beautiful place there. And I would love to be surfing in 70 degrees in Southern California. That piece right there that you just unlocked this morning was really, really powerful. And the reason why Kim gave me Atlanta was because she knew how intense I felt about it. And she knows on the other side how happy I am in California. So it was a great illustration. But if we take that and we extrapolate it out into all those different areas of your life, like you just talked about with your body, or, it could be finances or whatever it is. If you're shaming, hating, talking negative, your vibes are going so low that it's just about impossible to tune into the frequency that you want. So let's just say that the frequency that you want, I'll use another example that Esther Hicks uses often. If the frequency of the radio station that you need to tune in to get what it is that you're after is 98.6, but you're not tuned into that frequency because your vibes are so low, then you can go all day long vision boarding and journaling and hating about your current situation. But if you're not at 98.6, then you're not going to be able to listen to that radio station. The other thing I was going to say is we have inside of us, if you're trying to figure out, we're making the assumption in this conversation that everybody knows what it is that they want. But there are a lot of people listening right now who are very, very clear about what they don't want, but they're not super clear about what they do want. And I want to challenge you to do something that Kim and I have really been working hard at. And it's not so easy to do, but it is a learnable skill. And that is the idea of using your emotions as your guidance system to identify what feels good for you. So for example, for many, many years, I have been talking about, when I moved to California, I want to work really, really hard, and I want to get a great, Aston Martin or a great Porsche or, something like that. And there was a lot that was packed into the why behind that. But if I'm being honest, and I'm sitting down now and I'm saying, the Aston Martin is in my driveway now. How excited am I to get into that Aston Martin? And the answer is, I don't know what I would do with the sands from the beach that I have all over me.
First of all, the Aston Martin wouldn't fit in our driveway.
Wouldn't fit in the driveway, no. Wouldn't fit in the garage either. And
the Prius barely fits in the garage.
Yeah. And so when I think about all of those, those emotions that are around that car, it's, if you use your emotional guidance system as Magellan, right, the explorer, it's a good metaphor to think about. It doesn't really do much for me. Like, I appreciate it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's artistic.
Well, it fulfills your ego.
That's the obvious,
and your
right?
lack.
Well, the obvious, that's the obvious, but that's not even the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is a bigger one, which is that it doesn't light me up in the way that it should to move me. Now, if I flip it around, I could go on YouTube and I can watch 1970s, 1980s, sun-kissed, good vibration Beach Boys commercials of them playing volleyball and surfing and light up like a Christmas tree. I can't wait until Saturday. I am, as I'm speaking, I'm looking at my wetsuit hanging just so to make sure that it gets every grain of sand off. So when I get back in it, it's perfect. And that is not like me to have a wetsuit hanging on anything in my view, right?
I'm laughing because
it's not, right?
No.
I want everything put away and perfect, but that doesn't bother me. So here's the point. It's a long-winded answer, but I'm hoping that as I'm explaining this, that you're thinking about the things in your life that are really giving you joy. And to Kim's point a second ago, not the one that's serving the ego, not the one that it's like, well, I've always, since I was a kid at 30 years old, I always wanted to have the Ferrari, or I had it up on my wall. And that may have been the case, but when you were 16 and you wanted the Ferrari, it was for a different reason. But when you're 20 or 30 and that changes, you want things, and I think in life, you hit different seasons and you want different things for different reasons. And I'm really, really content right now with most of the things that I have in my life.
Are you content or are you in joy?
I would say,
because content is the bottom of the upward spiral. Just so you know, and joy is number one.
Give me the ones. You have them in front of you. Give me the ones. I'll answer this. Give me the ones from
the bottom of the upward spiral. So if everybody listening imagines an arrow going up, okay, like with a spiral wrapped around it.
Yep.
Joy and appreciation are at the top.
Go the other way. Go from content up.
Content is at the bottom of the upward spiral. Yep. There's also a downward spiral.
Okay.
Hopefulness is the next one up.
Keep going.
Optimism.
Keep going.
Positive expectation and belief.
Keep going.
Enthusiasm, eagerness, and happiness.
Happiness.
Okay. And then there's passion.
Happiness.
And then there's joy, appreciation, empowered, freedom, and love.
I feel like I'm somewhere on the streets of happiness.
Okay.
That's where I would put myself right now. Like, it's like in California, great backyard, love the deck, love our vegetable garden, love being a couple bucks from the beach. But wouldn't it be interesting to see
if you can use appreciation?
What's the next one up from that? After
enthusiasm, eagerness, and happiness is all in one. The next one up is passion. I mean, you are passionate about surfing. You are passionate about getting out to the beach and putting your feet in the toes every day. And what's up from passion
from there?
Joy, love, appreciation, and all of those are one.
So I'm moving
You're moving up the scale.
I'm moving up the scale.
So so this is a good segue into my second thing. Okay, so I am a new meditator.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Atlanta, if I did the same thing for Atlanta, it would have been in contentment.
You weren't content in Atlanta.
So I wasn't even at the bottom of the scale.
No, you were somewhere down in jealousy and discouragement and disappointment.
You're right, I was.
And pessimism and boredom.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
right.
Your life was the downward spiral
you're
in
right.
Atlanta.
Slippery slope.
But because that's where you allowed it to be. You can change that by going into appreciation and finding the things you can appreciate, right?
Okay, yep.
So good segue, because this is the next thing that I learned. So I am a new meditator, right? I have been consistently meditating for the last, well, consistently is a bad word, but I've been meditating more intentionally. How about we'll put that there, for the last couple of months. So I'm new to this. I have, though, in the past, always done affirmations. And I've always had a vision board and in my adult life. And those things are like affirmations, manifestation, and all of that. But I'm new to like the other side. Here's another thing that I got this week that really, actually I got it a couple of weeks ago, but it made massive sense to me this week. When you do not use affirmations and manifestation practices to raise your vibration, you must be in the high vibration in order for the affirmations or the manifestation to work. So just walking around going, my life is good, my life is good, my life is good, when your vibration is really jealous and angry and pissed, to get you out of it, that doesn't work. Which is why if people try these affirmations and they say it 10 times in the mirror and whatever, you have to do something to raise your vibration first. So what I've been doing to make sure I'm in the right place for manifestation, the right place to do affirmations, I've been starting with gratitude. Because when you go into gratitude, that's at the top of the scale, right? That's at the highest vibe you can be in. That's at joy. That's at appreciation. That's at love. So I will think about the people that I love. I will write mentally or physically a list. And then from there, I will do the affirmations. And sometimes it's an affirmation or manifestation meditation, how you like that. So the key that I never knew was that walking around and yelling at yourself in the mirror, like what was his name? Stuart Smiles, or what was his name on
Smalley.
Stuart Smalley on SNL. Like doing all those things. Yeah, okay, it's great, but you have to raise your vibration. So every single thing is about getting yourself as close to joy and love and appreciation as possible.
Yeah, I think that was really beautifully stated. And I will tell you that what you're doing is there's two things that come to mind. One is you're interrupting the pattern. So when it happens again, you're going to immediately go right into love. And two is once you get this lesson, you're going to be able to have your Sundays from mimosas.
I know my damn Sundays people are trigger happy on a Sunday.
All right. We're going to leave you with this. And that is, I want to highlight one thing you said, because this is like a little subtle difference that I don't think a lot of people understand. So you've heard us talk before about having a vision board and putting it up in your kitchen and grabbing a bottle of wine and stepping into the vibration and, using that to attract what it is that you're after. And I think that works as long as your vibration is there first, to Kim's point. A lot of people, I believe, they are dissatisfied with their life. They cut out pictures of a villa in Tuscany as an example, and they put those pictures on the vision board. And they try and attract that in their life through looking at the vision board. But that's not how it works. The way it works is you get into the vibration first, and then you look at the vision board, vibing at that level. So you're excited. You're having conversations about how excited you are for this new future. That's if you remember, Kim, that's what you and I did. Mm-hmm. We sat there at night and we talked literally until, like, if somebody would listen, they'd throw up. Because
true.
It would be every night. Oh my God, we're going to be spending 4 months in Italy. We're going to be living in California. We'd be like, if they were there, be like, I can't hear this again.
But none of it was planned yet.
None of it was planned yet. And it was we had a ping pong match, all, in a good way. It was like, oh, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that, and then we're going to go to this country, and we're going to go to that country, and we're going to live near the ocean. Because our vibe, when it was over, our subconscious was working all night, not because we used the vision board to attract it, because we used our vibration around how amazing it's going to be when it's in our life. We matched the vibration and we brought it in. Well,
no,
there's more.
I need to tell